It's a business.
I think we're live streaming.
Tax deductible.
Life
All right.
is short. Enjoy it while you can.
All right. Whose kids? Whoever has kids, whose kids went back to school this week?
Not this guy.
No.
No kids for me.
That you know of. That
Oh,
you know
no,
of.
I took precautions many years ago.
Many years ago. Well, I appreciate you guys coming today, and excited to have this partnership with Mary and Richard. And so it's they're going to be sharing the platform about crowdfunding and all that. And this kind of aligns with what We Partners is doing, is basically be able to bring a community together, educate, at the same time as look at investment opportunities. In the real estate industry, right? Our goal is not to just be transactional, is actually to get to that I category, right? When I share the cash flow quadrant, I always share about like from being a self-employed to become a business owner, right? You can do that as in our platform to become a business owner, but how do you get to that I category? Well, sometimes we don't have $200,000 in savings. We don't have, $500,000 in savings. That's where this crowdfunding concept will allow everyone. And I'm going to have Mary and Richards share this model, what they built. They are entrepreneurs for many, many years. Mary's related to me, so it's family coming together. And I was excited when I saw that they ventured out in this, and we had a conversation and kind of share what we're doing as a network. And I felt like there was a great alignment together. So thank you for coming, and I just want to kind of share Mary and Richard.
Thank you so much. Good morning. How is everybody?
Good morning.
Good. All right,
Thank
good. We
you,
got a
Daniel.
live group here.
I
That's
know, this is
awesome.
great. We've been doing everything virtual for the past couple of weeks, so it's good to see live faces.
Yeah. So it's great reconnecting with Daniel. We're old family friends. And so Richard and I have been married for 23 years, most of them really happy. So we've got 3 beautiful kids. We just became grandparents, which is a whole nother world. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. Anyone asks about the grandbaby, you're going to see pictures.
Yes, she's precious.
She's got us wrapped around her finger.
So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of this. Typically, this presentation, it's geared towards non-real estate people. So I know you guys are all realtors, but just kind of keep that in mind, because this business literally has been decades in the making. We've taken our multiple decades in business and in direct sales, and we married them all together, and it had a baby. And Investor Nextdoor Club is what we came up with.
And really, the main reason why we built this is because it didn't exist in the marketplace. And we'll kind of break that down in detail. But literally, this has been an incredible undertaking. And if it would have existed, we would have just hitched our wagon right to it and ran with that as is.
Yeah, so we're just really about making real estate investing available to the everyday person, really opening up the concept available for everybody. But before we start, I just want to take a quick time out, okay? And I want, we go from meeting to meeting, call to call, bell to bell. And I just want you to pause for a minute and ask yourself, why are you here? Maybe you're here because you knew there was training, and that's kind of what you do on Wednesdays at 11. Or maybe you're someone who's curious, like I've been doing real estate, but I really want to jump into that investing quadrant because I know that's in my future, that it's not just about selling property, but I want to get into that game. Or maybe there's something better for you out there. Whatever it is, I think you're going to find something. But the first thing I want to do is I want to thank you for being here, because we know time is your most precious commodity. You can't buy any more of it. You can't get it back. So I want to thank you for giving us some of your time. But I also want you to hold that thought, that thought about why you're here, because I think when you see what we're going to share with you, some of it's going to really resonate for some of you, and it's going to be a match for what you're really wanting long term. And if it's a match, I want you to have the boldness to step into that and really pursue what it is you want and really desire for yourself in your life.
While we're here, talked a little bit about it because it didn't exist, right? But the main thing is we wanted to break the system of normal for everyday people. We've been a part of real estate now for many, many decades, and we really wanted to create a way for everyday people could access what high net worth people break into. But really, from a practical standpoint, we just want people to be able to have income producing assets. We have watched people over the years make great active earned income, and then there's a bad season, and because they had no hard assets that were producing income, those low times became much lower than they were. And we want to break through that for people.
Now, maybe who is this for? Maybe you're someone, you already have an interest in learning how to invest, which I'm guessing a lot of you already do. Or maybe you've already started that investment journey outside of your real estate career, but you're really looking for a community of investors or an advisory group to help you make some of those really tough, big decisions. Or you might know that real estate's already in your future. And again, this is geared towards non-real estate future. But whatever that is, you might be in a place like Daniel alluded to, where you're ready to own real estate now, not just buy and sell properties for other people. You want to get into that game. And it doesn't matter whether you're a beginner or you're intermediate into your real estate journey, or you're well advanced. I promise you, you're going to find a fit here at Investor Nextdoor Club.
So it doesn't matter, beginner, advanced, we'll take them all, right? But you also probably have clients that start talking about, hey, how do I get into investing, right? Well, we have a portal for them to be able to utilize that. But most people, if you ask 100 people who has a desire to own real estate, more than 50% of the hands are going to go up in a room, right? So every day we drive by something like this. Your clients drive by, your friends drive something by like this. It's like, who's getting paid on this, right? The question is, why are they not getting paid on it? And a big reason is because most people think real estate investing, especially commercial, is too complex, requires way too much capital, or they don't really know how to access good deals, or if there actually are good deals out there to begin with.
Now, every once in a while, someone decides, I want to get into real estate, especially commercial real estate. I want to start investing. And so what typically happens is, Google's always listening. And then all of a sudden in your social media feed, you start getting these advertisements for these different classes on learning how to invest in real estate. And so you go to this low-cost teaser, maybe it's a mastermind or master class, and you pay $100 for it, and then they upsell you to a $10,000 or $50,000 program. And we've seen it as much as $85,000 for the upsell of the program, which then takes most people completely out of the game. They don't even start. But the few that do start, some of them cobble the money together. A lot of them put it on a credit card, hoping this is the thing that's going to get me out of the future that I don't really want to have. And so they start off in debt, and they start learning all this stuff. But typically what they find out there is a bunch of outdated curriculum. You guys are in real estate, real estate today is not the same real estate a year ago or even 6 months ago, much less the stuff that they're teaching from 2 and 5 years ago. It's a completely different thing. And then what they experience is a constant upsell, like buy this course, buy this program. And then they put people up on the stage who in 6 months made $1 million on their first real estate transaction. And we know that's all possible, but it's just not the norm. And that's what lures people that are inexperienced into staying in that hamster wheel. And what most people really experience is completely limited support. They don't have the team and the community like you guys have built here with Daniel to really produce what they want to produce. And they're left with a really expensive experience that's exhausting and completely disappointing.
But really the game has changed, and now everyone's invited to play. That's why we say Investor Nextdoor Club, everyone is invited. And bottom line is, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to have thousands of dollars. Your clients, your friends don't need to have thousands of dollars. You just need to be able to have the right community, the right education, and the right opportunity. And, you guys know this more than anybody else, but when it comes to real estate, a lot of wealth is grown in real estate. A lot of wealth is stored in real estate because they're not printing any more land. Maybe Dubai, they print land apparently over in Dubai. But here in America, we're not printing any more land, right? So it's in high demand, right? And so people, they do this because they want the cash flow. They want the appreciation. They want the tax advantages, right? They want the equity growth and all those things. So wealthy people do this all day long, high net worth people, but 85% of the market doesn't. Now, Mary and I've been in business for myself for over 35 years. I know I look a lot younger than that, but nonetheless, the only W-2s that I've gotten are the ones that were my companies that gave me W-2s, okay? And I've been involved in real estate investing, and I've had 2 funds. Over the past 20 years, which having a fund in Texas as well as having a fund in California, we've done over 45 million in transactions with those funds. I did that part-time because we actually had direct sales businesses that we were building nationally and internationally, and even lived overseas for part of the time as well. So I say all this because part-time real estate investing is extremely possible. But the other thing is, I know what's coming over these next couple of years, and the wave that's available in the commercial space is huge. And I want to make sure everybody has a chance to be a part of that next wave of what's happening. And I don't want to just build another fund for high net worth people, because couple of hard things that I had to do when I had those two funds is people would ask me, can you teach me what you do? And I'd say, no, I don't have time. I don't have a system. I don't have bandwidth for that. And then the next one was really hard. They're like, okay, great. Can I invest with you? And I was like, no, because you're not accredited. And that knocked everyone out. Like, they didn't like hearing it. I didn't like saying it. So I knew on this next go round, I wanted to find a way that we could actually include everyone regardless of income status.
So the last 20 years, Richard and I were in the direct sales space, and we built massive sales and marketing organizations all over the world. And one of the things we love to do is we love to help average people produce really extraordinary results. And part of doing that is we taught people how to manage their money, how to set up their business entities, how to invest their money. When you've got someone who's used to making $5,000 a month and you get them to making $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month, it's a complete life change. And so we wanted something in this next venture where we could marry real estate and our love for mentoring and raising up leaders together in one entity. And so what we did was we built what we wish we had when we were starting decades ago, because it just didn't exist.
You know, go ahead.
So our vision is to close the wealth gap by cultivating a premier community-driven ecosystem where anyone, it does not matter the age, experience, background, can gain confidence, grow wealth, and live truly a purpose-driven life. And our mission and how we're going to do that is we're going to educate, equip, and mobilize a global community of private investors through transformational learning, mentorship, and opportunity. And so we're not just about educating people. We really want to mobilize people. We don't want to be one of those groups where we're giving you all this information. We want to come alongside you and help you get into the game and start winning the game of real estate investing.
So the Inc. ecosystem, it's really everything under one membership where somebody, regardless of knowledge level, they can start. They can start to grow here with the community. They can actually start to build a portfolio a whole lot sooner than they can on their own with all directly by themselves, right? And so we really are building something different here. This is something that does not exist currently in the marketplace.
So you can start right now. So it doesn't matter whether it's you that you're in real estate or somebody that you know that doesn't even know how to spell real estate. They can get involved in our Inc. community. Inc. stands for Investor Nextdoor Club. They can get access to content curated by entrepreneurs for entrepreneurs. So we created what we knew people would need to have a really successful business. And they're also going to have access to exclusive investment opportunities.
You know, being able to grow over time, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day, right? You guys have experienced being a part of a great community here with We Partners, but being able to grow together, gain skills together, iron sharpening iron, helping those individuals that are up and coming, that's what can happen through a community. And education is learned faster and sticks longer when it's done inside of a community.
You know, and we want to come alongside you and help you build your vision, you know, build the things that matter most to you. Because at the end of the day, most people aren't just dreaming about a real estate empire. They're dreaming about a real estate empire to do the things they really want to do, to fund the charities and organizations they really want to fund, to do the things that make their heart sing. So we want you to leverage what you've learned to design the life you really want, you know, whether it's 1 year or 5 years or 10 years down the road, we want you to create the thing you've always wanted and make it actually come to fruition.
So with our education platform, we've got these 5 pillars that we focus on, right? And we'll do these as live trainings and then they'll get stored. But we focus on real estate investing, mostly in the commercial arena. And then there's financial confidence. We've all heard the word financial peace by a very large company out there. We wanted to have people have confidence with their finances and the systems that we teach inside of that. Then there's tax and entity structuring, because that's really going to help people as they're growing their income, start reducing that liability that's out there, really taking full advantage of the tax code that's given to us. And then just general business operations, you know, whether it's productivity, whether it's AI for marketing as it's specific to even agents or even just general investors. And then capital raising, which is my favorite because that's what I've been doing for 20 years.
You know, we knew we wanted to create this real estate investing education platform, but we also, after working with the general public for 20 years, we knew that if we didn't teach them all this other stuff, we would not set people up for success. Like they'd have some knowledge, they'd make some money, but at the end of the day, they would end up being what we call high class broke. You know, some high class broke people, right? They have nice things, but they're one paycheck away from being bankrupt. And we didn't want our community to have that. We wanted to set them up so that they actually have a future that their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids could bank on.
So one of the things is all the live trainings are going to be starting next week, the week of the 18th. The reason why we're not opening with a large vault of recorded stuff is because everything's changed. Anything older than 2 months, in my personal opinion, is outdated, whether it's the real estate market as pertains to the interest rate, the strategies that work, that used to work, that no longer work today. The bank lending relationships have all changed. And then even just, I was up late last night trying to go through the big, beautiful bill, because that's impacting a lot of things for real estate investors, business owners, everyday people that are looking to maybe make some money outside of their W-2. There's a lot that is changing very, very rapidly, and it's moving from underneath our feet. You cannot just stand still. So our experts, our trainers, including us that are going to be providing content on a weekly basis, will be able to have access to relevant information versus outdated.
Yeah. So when you log into your office portal, you'll see all of our pillars. Click.
Yep. There you go.
So you'll see all of our pillars, and you can click on the pillar and all the modules will open up. And so you'll have all of the recordings of all the live trainings that we're doing, and you can digest it at your leisure. Some of you are like, I need 15 minutes a day. Some of you are like, I'm binging for the whole week. I'm going to get everything. So whatever you desire, it's all there for you. But what's going to happen is, as real estate evolves, all that's going to constantly be updated, and we're going to have the community really take part in what they need.
You know, we're all busy, so everyone will be able to attend, live. So that's why all of those will be stored and they'll be replayed as well. So anything can be done on demand. And also, all the topics may not be relevant to one specific person, depending on the season of life, depending on their experience level. More topics are going to be more relevant to others, but at least they're going to be getting access to a world that is not present right now. So, power of community, we've talked a lot about it. You're experiencing it here with We Partners, but with us, it really is about just grow with the network, high trust peers, mentors, because on those live trainings, you get to bring real questions. You get live Q&A that you can address those things with, and you can submit those things also in our community chat as well. And somebody will pick that up and they will give you some really good information on it. The other is being able to stay accountable to your goals. Now, some people don't want to stay accountable to their goals. We'd like to help you get on your journey. Everyone you're here, you want to be here. It's nice to be able to do that in a community like you guys do here as well. And then we really want to be able to celebrate your wins. Everyone's got different levels. No one's in competition with one another. So when someone pays off their credit cards, we want to celebrate that. Someone pays off their car, their house, we want to celebrate that. It's not just about, oh, Bob got a multifamily deal and Bob's making, $25,000 a month out. That's great for Bob. But so many other people, they're in a place right now where they just need some wins. They need some base hits so they can feel like they're actually in the game and on base.
There's a lot of information online, and you can get a lot of information on YouTube, but we all know that there's a lot of dated stuff, and it's good for information, and seminars are great for inspiration, but we really do believe that breakthroughs happen in community. And what's great about this is you are not going to be in this alone. So if you bring someone in, you guys know how refreshing it is to be able to get involved in a community that can support you and what you're up to.
So this is a global community. Right now it's 4 countries. So it's Canada, US, Mexico, and Puerto Rico, with more to come. And the reason why is because America is very sought after. People want to learn how to invest in America, right? EXP is expanding at 29 countries, right? Don't know if we'll get to 29 countries, but we'll see. The important thing is that it's a sought out market, and people want to learn, how can I participate in the US real estate game?
So just like with every other organization, you need a support team. So we've got an incredible support team, and this is just a sampling of what we have. Eric Hill is our chief legal officer. He comes to us with over 30 years of real estate and business experience. He's a master at contract negotiations. Since 2004, he's developed over 450 homes. That's a lot of homes developed as an attorney. And then Carly Worth is an advisor and a trainer. In one single year, she raised over $6 million for investment opportunities. Since 2020, she's acquired almost 100 commercial transactions, which is 20 transactions a year, which is incredible. And then Marty Kennard comes to us. He's another advisor and trainer. He comes to us with over 20 years of corporate leadership experience. He's managed over $420 million in sales and 2,000 employees for a major U.S. retailer when he was at the ripe old age of 28 years old. He's participated in tons and tons of facets of multifamily commercial purchases. And so he knows that market inside and out.
And we have other trainers and advisors that aren't listed here that kind of fill certain niches and certain parts of those pillars. And those will be exposed as we start to continue to develop the program. The main thing is, how do I start owning real estate now? This is really kind of the fun part, but there's kind of an issue before we get to the fun part, which is somebody's like a traditional path for an investor. Hey, I want to learn. Well, okay, fine. So they join a real estate investing community, right? Then they start to learn those skills. And then they go out there and you kind of got to build a little bit of a professional team, a network, like, maybe identifying a broker, maybe identifying a lender that will help you pre-underwrite some things or just pre-approve things. There's all sorts of things that you want to be able to get into the market before you find that deal. It's like, oh, I found my deal. I am ready to buy my first commercial property. And then the reality kicks in that they may not tell you up front. Oh, you're going to need $200,000 to buy this small commercial property because that's your down payment. Well, I can't do that, right? Next is, okay, well, maybe I can joint venture. Like we'll get 3 or 4 buddies together and we'll go ahead and just pool money together ourselves and we'll go in as partners. Can you raise that? Some can, some can't. Then the other is, okay, well, I'm just going to invest in someone else's deal passively as a limited partner. Well, there's laws and regulations around that. Are you an accredited investor, right? Do you make over $200,000 a year as a single person or $300,000 a year as a married couple? Or do you have $1 million net worth without your primary residence equity? So there's a lot of factors that come into play that knocks out 85% of the market, according to the statistics that we have, because the SEC says, hey, there's only about 13.7 of the population that's actually considered accredited that could actually pass that qualification.
So what do? Our solution was really to create a crowd fund for our Investor Nextdoor Club. And so the only way to access Liberty Crowd Fund is becoming a member of Investor Nextdoor Club. Laws have democratized the way people can own real estate. And what Liberty Crowd Fund does is it gives you an opportunity to have fractional ownership of real estate now. And this is a passive turnkey solution for people to get into the real estate game without having all the knowledge, all the money, all the know-how. It's a great way for them to really start owning real estate. And these are some of the asset classes that we focus on, mainly things that are income producing with high demand. So it's not limited to this, but this is just a sampling of the things that we're going to focus on. The great thing about our crowd fund is you don't have to participate, but it's an option. We looked at all the things that could possibly roadblock someone to get into the real estate game. And we knew one of the roadblocks was being able to start. And so this is a great way for people just to start. And all the details will be in your member portal of Investor Nextdoor Club, like details on how it works, what to expect, how to participate. We know that fractional ownership of real estate is really the future for most people. And usually we don't get into the nuts and bolts of the crowd fund, but I know that's something that is of importance to you. So I'm going to let Richard share a little bit more about how the crowd fund works.
So as a registered crowd fund with the SEC, we're able to generally solicit. We can talk about publicly, whereas something that might be an accredited fund, depending on their registration, they cannot do general solicitation. So we're able to talk to what would be considered retail investors. So the information I'm giving you are all projections and targets, just like anyone could do, because you can't make promises, you can't make guarantees, but you can certainly talk about what your strategy and what your targeted returns are. So Mary talked a little bit about the asset classes that the fund will focus on. Our limited partner investors that come in, they'll be earning an 8% preferred return, okay, on an annualized basis. Upon any kind of profits that happen in the fund, which when you're doing long-term holds, right, doesn't happen quickly because it's a growth fund, then the limited partners are taking 70% of the profits. Only the general partner takes 30% of the profits from managing all of the assets and bringing the deals together. So when we look at the trajectory of somebody being in the fund, when we project it, we will not acquire something if we cannot target a 14 to 16% annualized return over a 3-year period. So that means we have a sell-off, They earned their 8%, their 8%, their 8%, but then they got their profit share, and that spread out over 3 years. Then that ended up averaging 14 to 16% return on that capital that was invested. Now, they're not exiting the fund at that point in time, they're just getting a distribution. So we don't anticipate having any distributions during the first year because it's a new fund, it is ramping up, it's got to go acquire, it's got to start cash flowing, and it's got to produce a profit. But the general partner cannot take any profits until the 8% preferred return is actually paid up front, paid in advance, right? Then there can be a split on profits. So we really do kind of put ourselves on the hook to go produce and make things happen. The main thing about it is that limited partners are going to be able to enjoy this as a passive vehicle. It doesn't mean they can't go out and do direct. Most general partners that I know that are in the space, or syndicators I know, there's only so many deals they can be directly involved in. Most of their investments are in passive structures because they only pick the ones that they really want to directly work on. So this is just an allocation and a strategy for people. But for brand new people entering into real estate investing, this is what allows them to get in the game right now, today.
How many of you have ever heard of crowdfunding? A little bit. How many of you heard of crowdfunding as it relates to real estate? A couple of you. Okay, typically a crowdfund for real estate goes into one asset. So maybe we have whatever regulatory we need to create a crowdfund. I don't know all the SEC stuff. That's Richard's forte. So we all come together and we decide we're going to crowdfund together, the people in this room, and we purchase one property. That's typically how most real estate crowdfunds work. Our crowdfund is what's considered a diversified fund. And so we're going to be purchasing multiple assets with the crowdfund. What that does is it reduces and minimizes your risk. So if we all invested in this one property and that property failed, then we all lose. 100% of our money is gone. In a diversified fund, it's going to be, our risk is spread out amongst all the assets that are there, which makes it much more favorable, especially for someone new in the game of investing. When you're new at investing, I mean, you don't want to put out a lot, right? How many of you are gamblers? Like a little bit of blackjack, maybe? So I'm not a gambler, but I'm not a gambler, but my sister is a major gambler. I sat at many a blackjack table with her, but she likes to ease into it. She doesn't go like straight to the high stakes tables. She's like, let's try some $5 tables and let's ease into it. So that's what crowdfunding allows people to do, kind of ease their way into real estate investing, especially when you're talking about average everyday people who are not accustomed to it. This is a great way for them to get into the game.
How many of you are familiar with private equity? You've heard the term? Okay. I mean, past 20, 25, 30 years, it's really outperformed the public markets. Private equity is only exclusively available to high net worth people, right? They don't have a program unless there's a publicly traded one, but then those returns are dramatically reduced because they have way more overhead. But in the private arena, true private equity is only available for a select class of people. What we've done with creating a diversified real estate fund is we've taken the mechanics of private equity and allowed everyday people to participate like those people, because we know we're going to have a whole lot less overhead. We're a lot more nimble. We have the ability to network with an incredible amount of agents to be able to find those deals that are great and then allow the community all around us to participate in those wins.
And just so you guys get a sense, Investor Nextdoor Club and Liberty Crowdfund are two separate companies. You don't have to participate in Liberty Crowdfund, but it is an offering available for Investor Nextdoor Club members. It's just an option for them to get into the game now while they're learning all the other stuff to be able to directly invest or joint venture or be a limited partner with somebody else's deal. So it's just another vehicle that we've provided for our club members.
So with the Inc. ecosystem, with everything kind of listed out here, you've got the Inc. Academy, you got the live trainings, you got live coaching, you got Q&A, just access to the crowdfund. It's a benefit to the community. We don't have that marketed to the general public, even though we can. There's in-person meetings. We're going to have chapters around the country. There's going to be someone that raises their hand and say, listen, I want to host a chapter. Fine. And there's going to be a place for people to gather, because where people gather, people get stronger, right? And they have a lot more fun. And then we have the community chat. Now, out there in the marketplace, easy all day long, $10,000 to $50,000 for a 1-year program with a lot of no support and a lot of outdated material. What we set up was the membership. Everyone loves Costco. Well, we got a membership just like Costco. A little different, I guess. But anyway, $149 allows a club member to get started with our community, and then it's $99 a month thereafter. Now, we just opened up in August, right? So we're just now building out the community. That is going to be founder member pricing. At some point in time, that price will go up. It has to go up. And then but the founding community members, they're grandfathered. So no matter what we do in the future, you're going to be locked in at that, and there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time.
Now, one of the other roadblocks that we know a lot of people have in investing is they just don't have the cash. They don't have the money to get involved. And we spent the last 2 decades building sales and marketing organizations. We understand the power of referrals and referral groups. So we created an affiliate referral program to help with just that. And so there's 2 main aspects to our referral program. So the first part is the referral portion. I will take this. Share the community, and you get to grow your income. So we know that when people join our community, they're going to love our community. They're going to love the energy. They're going to love the information. They're going to love what they've learned and applied in their life. So when you go and you refer a buddy of yours to join Investor Nextdoor Club, that first month that they're a member, we're going to pay you $50 as a referral fee, which is a great referral fee just by helping someone get started. Then every single month that they pay their membership, we're going to pay you $20 every single month. Now, when you refer 5 club members, your membership is basically free. So 5 times $20, it's $100. That covers your $99 fee. But what's great is we have this August kickoff bonus. So if you achieve that 5 and free in the month of August, we're going to give you an additional $200 bonus. And you can do that as many times as you want. You can refer 10, 15, 20, however many, and we'll get you that additional bonus. But as your referral community grows, is it okay if we pay you more, right? Is it okay if we pay you more, Paul? This is what you asked me earlier. So the second aspect of our referral program really is our affiliate portion. It's a community-powered referral system. So on your community, on your club members on levels 1 through 3, we're going to pay you $5 every single month that they're in the club. And then on levels 4 through 9, you're going to get paid $2 for all of those club members. Now, I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty about it. Just know that there's a lot of money that can be made just by growing your community and helping other people get involved. Now, our main thing is not just having you make money. At the end of the day, it's about the thing that you talked about, why you're here, the wants and desires for your life. You know, we want you to fuel and fund your way to freedom because we want you to be able to travel anywhere. Like our granddaughter is in Nashville, so we practically have a second home in Nashville. We want you to be able to build your business anywhere and not be tied to traditional business. And then the ability to own your own time. Imagine waking up when you're done sleeping rather than when the alarm says you're done. And we want our people to be able to invest with peace. You know, imagine knowing that you've got money in the bank so that when opportunity arises, you can actually grab hold of it. You know, how many times have you had opportunity arise, but you weren't ready for the opportunity, either with time or with money? We want you to have both. But the most important thing, we want you to enjoy your people. We want you to enjoy your people doing the things you want to do. And so our affiliate referral program fee is $49 1 year. $49 a year. So I tell people, if you are going to refer one person to our community, it's going to cover the fee. So it's a no-brainer for you to get started. So I didn't go into all the details, but if you're curious about how it all works, just ask your Inc. member, us or Daniel, and we can give you the affiliate program video that goes into all the nuts and bolts of it.
Absolutely. So what we've done is we've taken 3 worlds and we just kind of bundled them together. There's the real estate investing world that's tied with the hard assets plus the education. And then there's crowdfunding, which has been really growing majorly over the past 5 years. It's been driving the private markets to where even last year, the private capital raising markets raised more than the public markets, right? Public markets have been hurting, not so much this year, but definitely last year. But nonetheless, it has been a catalyst for small businesses and startups to be able to grow in the marketplace. So taking that combined with the education while taking advantage of the affiliate marketing that available, that component, because 80% of all major brands, they have an affiliate program. You know, doesn't matter how many levels it is, regardless, they have an affiliate program and they use it because they know word of mouth marketing works, they know communities work, and they want to get on that bandwagon as well. So we brought all 3 of those together under one house. So the ability for where you can start, you can grow, you can build. The main part about it is that if all we did was teach people, we would be throwing them in the deep end, right? Like you can like kind of show someone in the shallow end how to swim, and it's like, okay, now you're ready. Throw them in the deep end. Most are going to sink. They're not ready for that, right? They need time to grow and marinate and, like to develop, their skills, right? And doing that in a community is what makes that work. But then the other is most people are strapped with debt. They are in bondage. We got $1.4 trillion in revolving credit card debt out there. That's the highest in the history of our country. That's not going away overnight. People do need another way to make income. So before they start investing, we had to create a method where, one, we could negate the cost of new education, right? They already spend enough on Starbucks and streaming services that far outweigh the cost of our membership, but we wanted to help them get it for free. But more importantly, we wanted to help them where they could have a program that actually pay off that debt. Then they can start investing passively. So that's really the reason why all three of these things were put together. It was well thought through. It was extremely expensive to build, and it took a long time, but I'm glad we are where we are right now today.
So basically, we believe this is the community that people are looking for, because we are going to help make real estate work for you. So I know a lot of you are already in real estate, but maybe you've not quite gotten into the real estate investing game. This is your opportunity to finally get in the game. And, when you're joining Investor Nextdoor Club, you're not just joining a club, you're really joining a community and a movement. And I know you guys know that. We're really preaching to the choir, but we know in our experience that when you get into the right community, like, you can make things happen that you never thought possible for yourself. We tell you, give it a year. And I promise you, if you invest that year, you will see changes that you never thought possible. So this is your opportunity to fuel and fund your way to freedom. And the great thing is we've got a special for our first 100 founding club members. We've got an Inc. Lifestyle Kickoff event that's happening November 7th and 8th right here in Dallas, Texas. You'll get 2 free tickets to that. It's a $300 value. You'll also get invited to a special VIP event at that kickoff event. And then you'll get a limited edition Founders Club hat that you can't get any other way. So if this is something that piques your interest, that is a right fit for you or someone reach out to Daniel. He can get you all the details. We've got community overviews 3 nights a week. So if you want to invite someone to hear about it, we're not going to get into all that detail about the crowdfund for the general public, but you can invite them to Sundays, Tuesdays, or Thursdays at 8 p.m. The Zoom link is inklifestyle.live. So I guess, I don't know if we've got time for questions, Daniel, but we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So in theory, if I'm hearing you correctly, in theory, say this.
Do you need the
hold
fuzzy?
mic
Yeah,
so the
mic.
I can speak up if you want.
Your mic's right there. The mic's right there.
That way the people online can hear.
Is this better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So in theory, if I'm hearing y'all correctly, so say this group wanted to invest together to minimize risk. Could we also join other groups to even more so minimize the risk? Because y'all mentioned doing like larger scale, so everyone puts in, but if it doesn't work out, you have a lesser risk in the investment. Like, could you dive deeper into that?
Yeah, sure. So the fund is a traditional structure that's been used for decades on Wall Street. Okay. So it's just the ability for us to pull capital together. And so no one's coming in as separate groups into that. Everyone comes in individually through that. The crowd fund is basically an exemption that allows non-accredited people to come into that fund, right? And so no one would come into there as a group. Everyone would come in as an individual. So that money gets pooled, right? And then that money gets distributed and to deploy to purchase properties, right? So the fund will own all of the commercial assets. Okay. Who owns the fund is the limited partners, and
Which is everybody who invests.
which is everyone who invests through there. Does that help?
That helps.
Okay.
Just another one more question. I know you mentioned you're currently in North America and y'all want to expand. Do you have any interest in going over to Asia, specifically South Korea?
So a couple things about that. So we'll only invest in America because the property laws, and we understand them.
Fair enough.
We can open up just about any country for the affiliate program and the club membership. So we have 4 countries open right now. The only thing that we have to do is just get the banking approved so we can pay the affiliates. But technically, we could have club members join forever because we're just an internet company at that point. So the answer is yes. And we lived in Japan for 18 months.
Nice.
So we certainly do want to expand over to Asia.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And foreign investors can invest in the crowdfund as well. So if they
Yes.
decide to join Investor Nextdoor Club and they want
Yeah.
to participate in the crowdfund, they can participate in the crowdfund
Is
as
it
well.
is it visa dependent?
No.
Okay.
The technical term would be it's a Reg S that allows foreign investment to come in.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somebody else?
Good question.
Where do y'all live?
Frisco.
We live in Frisco.
Okay, cool. That was simple.
That was really technical.
We live at 270.
Okay, so the $99 a month
Yeah.
is participate in it, but that is not our dollar amount that we're putting into the fund.
Correct. And it's
So
just for the education.
Is, you know, if I put in $1,000, but somebody puts in $10,000, then their ownership stake in whatever is purchased with that, is that their percentage of ownership is depending upon the
Yeah.
percent of
So the way it's-
contribution,
mhm.
right?
The way it's
Right.
set up is $1, 1 unit.
Right.
So you put in 1,000, you got 1,000 units. You put in
Exactly.
10,000, whatever. The minimum investment that we're going to open up with the crowdfund will be 500. We felt that was really palatable for a lot of people. There is a, yeah, I won't mention it. There's another gentleman who his crowdfund when he had it, his minimum was 5,000. I thought that was a bit rich for people that were newly coming into that type of structure. So we won't always keep it at 500, but eventually we'll move that up.
Yeah, and that dollar amount really was inside of our desire to have everyone get to participate. Like if someone is working a hourly job, we really do believe someone working an hourly job could cobble together $500 to start investing.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to open the playground for anybody to start.
That $500 is basically 500 credits, so to speak.
500 units.
Units,
It's a
okay.
unit and
A
LLC.
unit.
Yeah.
And then if you bought a $5 million property
Mhm.
and you contributed $500, then that's your percent ownership of that 500.
Yes.
Dollars,
Whatever the
right.
assets under management of.
And
of
you're
all the
hoping
assets.
to get an 8% preferred return, averaged out 14 to 16% over 3 years
That's what we're
on an
that's what we're
investment
targeting.
target.
When we
Right.
go to when we go to underwrite and pro forma something,
Right.
it's like if we can't hit in that window, then we're just going to pass on it.
And then after a 3-year-ish time frame, then there would be distributions based on your ownership portion.
That's
on-
potential,
Right.
right? We could have distributions in larger profit sharing before that. Let's say I'll just give you a scenario. We ramp up, we start acquiring year 1, we get into year 2. Okay, there's sufficient cash flow coming in. We've ramped up enough. We can make up the 8% preferred return. We're not distributing any profit, but we're just giving the limited partners their 8% preferred return. But let's say we get 6 more months down the road, like, you know what? We've had some pretty good appreciation. Rates have dropped. Let's go ahead and do a cash out refi. And we'll take 50% of that equity. We'll distribute it to the pro rata to the limited partners. And then we're going to take the other portion and we're going to go put that in more properties. So we get a compounding effect on the cash on cash return, so to speak.
What's
So-
happening to the amount of funds that are put in waiting for that ideal investment?
So good question. So we have a minimum target that we have to hit before we can do the first drawdown. That minimum target, which is all listed there in the portal, is 250,000. Not going to move a whole lot of commercial property with 250,000, but that is our minimum target that we have to get to. If we don't get to that, that would be weird. But if we don't get to that, it all gets refunded 100%. While it's sitting there, it's not earning anything. Okay. The moment we draw it down, then it's when we actually start incurring the liability of the 8%. And the fund does. The fund starts incurring the 8%. So we don't anticipate that we'll be sitting there more than 30, 60 days at that. But conservatively, that is a requirement for any crowdfund to protect the retail investors.
Yeah, just tell me your name again.
Tina.
Tina. Okay, so Tina had a good question that kind of opened up something else. When you join Investor Nextdoor Club, you're paying your membership to be in the community and learn the education so that you're in a place where you can start investing in real estate. If you so choose, you can participate in Liberty Crowdfund. So in your member portal, there will be a section about Liberty Crowdfund. It'll go into the nuts and bolts and how it works and what you expect and the kind of returns and the asset classes and all of that. And then if you decide to do that, you're going to click on the link and you're going to go out to the broker dealer's portal. And you're the broker dealer and their license, and they're going to handle all the money laundering, all the know your customer, all the regulatory stuff. You'll put your money there and then it comes back here. So it's completely separate and distinct. You can decide to participate in that or not. You can decide day one when we open Liberty Crowd Fund, or you can wait 6 months, a year down the road, whatever it is that is comfortable for you. But the main thing is it's an access that you have because of your membership in Investor Nextdoor Fund.
And let me piggyback off that real quick. So why would someone want to be an early adopter into the fund? Just like anybody, when they enter into a fund, even accredited people, is there's a set price in the beginning. Over time, that price increases to enter newly. Because if we didn't, we'd actually be cheating disproportionately the people that came in early on. So there'll be a time where it's going to be, $2 for 1 unit versus 1 to 1, because the value of the fund is going to increase as the asset value increases. And then one other thing, just on the compliance aspect of it, because I know Mary and I, we grew up in the mortgage industry. Just so you know, we didn't mention that because it seems like
it was the 4 longest grueling years of my life.
She hated it, right?
I hated it.
So we had 4 offices in 4 states: Texas, Nevada, Alabama, and then in California. And that was during a time where I think the average loan document, when you took it all the way to closing, might have been about that thick. I mean, it was like just very, very small. By the time we left 4 years later, we were looking at, disclosures that were a novel, right? Because everything that transpired. But the reason why I bring all that is we've lived in a world of high compliance and regulatory. This right here, the way that we've structured it is, one, for it to be sustainable, right? Very conservative, but sustainable, transparent. We wanted to make sure that all those things were in place. So I don't have the ability to go tell the fund, go do whatever I want to go do. We can't go run off with anything. We have 2 broker dealers that manage the fund. So we have a broker dealer, which is licensed with FINRA. One broker dealer is the software for the portal, and it's also the escrow. That is the hardest thing to get approved, escrow, because if you ever wanted to go through an audit, I don't recommend volunteering for that one, because they go through everything. They don't do a 5-year background check on you. They do 18 years and older. So I'm 55. So they went every year of my life, right, to go through that. So it's a full background check that they do before they actually approve you. And then there's another broker dealer who's actually the compliance for the sale of the actual security. They're responsible for doing the sale. I'm not responsible for the sale. I'm the fund manager. I am the fiduciary, to where we get to decide what assets are good and not. So for example, you might bring an asset to us to take a look at, and we're going to say yay or nay on it. I can do that with members in the community. We have other partners that are not going to be part of the community that are going to bring an asset we'll take a look at. We'll go find our own deals also. One of the reasons why this works inside of a real estate environment and a brokerage and so forth is because you are in the conversation every single day. You have people around you that want to get involved in real estate investing. You have people around you that want to get involved in real estate transactions, whether it be residential or commercial. This is the air you guys breathe. So you really have the ability to start to cultivate your future clients by having them plug in with this, because then they're going to start learning from a platform, and they're not going to be calling you every 15 minutes about what's this fee, what's that, how do I do this? Oh, you want to be able to make your life a little easier by plugging them into a system, and then they become future investors with you and with us, and together we win. Any other questions?
We had a question online.
Do you need the mic?
So the question was, what resources are available to affiliates?
Okay, so the affiliates, they'll get a branded website that's custom to them, so it's a unique URL, right? They will have access to at least 1 monthly training. There will be other marketing training that's available to them. Obviously, they have the ability to earn income through the referral program, because club members cannot earn. So that's the general basis of what they get.
They'll also have a back office portal where they can manage their business and see,
Yes,
the
they have
growth
a
of
full
their
dashboard.
business. If they want to know more about the affiliate program, we can put the link on there about the video. It's an 8-minute video, 7 minutes and 45 seconds. And it goes through kind of the details of how it works and really what's possible. I mean, we spent 20 years in the network marketing space. We've made millions of dollars in that space. And I'm not saying that to impress you, but really to impress upon you what's possible there. Like, we built massive organizations. We understand the power of referrals. And that's why we married that part into our community, because we wanted to really create a robust community of really great, like-minded people that are really committed to helping people get ahead. Like, I'm so, one of the things that Richard and I have been great at is really creating culture. And one of the things I'm pretty confident is we are going to repel the wrong kinds of people because they just won't like how great our community is. And I think when you see what the affiliate program is about, it's super simple for you to actually generate another stream of income, especially when you guys are in real estate. You're natural connectors, you're natural networkers. It's just part of who you are and what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions?
We'll be around. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go here and then turn around.
Okay. Okay, my question is,
go ahead.
if someone has entered the club program and they pay their fees and they bring in their investment amount, so what happens if they decide to cancel their membership down the road? What happens to that investment?
Yep. So they have their they keep it first and foremost, right? So they have a separate online portal that they create a portfolio on that's managed by the broker dealer. So they don't lose access to that. They have full access to it. So the bottom line, it's theirs. It's like, it'd be similar to if you have any kind of online brokerage account with TD America or Ameritrade, whoever, any of those platforms, those brokerages, they're going to have their own, and I don't even see it, right? It's between them and the broker dealer. So they do.
Let me give you a physical analogy, okay? So let's say this room is like Investor Nextdoor Club. You can walk in the front desk and you come into the room, you join Investor Nextdoor Club. And this door is now Liberty Crowd Fund. And you decide, you know what, I'm ready, I'm gonna walk through this door. You don't have to ever walk through the door. But once you walk through the door, you're also gonna get access to get in the back door of this office. That's your portal. So if you decide you're not ever gonna walk through the front door through Investor Nextdoor Club, you can always go through the back door to get to Liberty Crowd Fund. Does that make sense? So they're two separate entities.
So do you have to cash out though? If you know, okay.
No, you stay in.
No.
They're
two separate entities.
Gotcha.
So what you do once, you can only access Liberty Crowd Fund through Investor Nextdoor Club, but once you're accessed there, you have access to that, regardless of this. Okay. Good question.
Yeah,
Yep.
really good.
Yeah, I had the same question, but added to that, if we are in the investor club as a member, and then if I finished all my trainings, I feel like confident that I don't have to be part of investor club and still be part of crowdfunding. Can I invest other properties later in the crowdfunding?
So the great question, but I'm going to piggyback on one thing about what you said. Has there ever been a year that you didn't need to learn anything more?
Well, in real estate, really, like, has there ever been, there's always something evolving, but
Yeah,
has there?
it's not there, but time also
So-
matters, right? So how much we learn depends on,
So to the best of my, I'll double check on this because no one's actually asked that question. One, again, you can cancel your club membership at any time. I'm not going to hold anyone hostage, right? They've invested, into the fund. Okay, they have their own separate credentials, their own login to that portal for just them, whether they put 500 or they've made 10 different investments of 500. That's their portfolio. That's their ownership of that fund. They're not going to lose access to that. So if they have the ability to still conduct the transactions, they're in. I can't prevent them from investing more, right? Because they're an owner in the fund.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're going to find with our community is over time, you may not be diving deep in the real estate stuff, but there's an aspect of the community that you want to stay involved in because it's in the community where you're going to learn other things as well and open up other opportunities. Because when you get people like-minded together, and I know you guys do this here, is that all of a sudden you're meeting people and I'm like, oh, Teresa and I get along and we all of a sudden, oh, you know, we're going to do a real estate deal together. And so it's the community and the connectedness and the fellowship that keeps people involved, because one of the things we know is when you get the right people together, all ships rise with the tide. Like all of a sudden you start becoming a better parent, you start becoming a better spouse, you start getting your health in order. We believe that in our community, people's life will evolve in every aspect of their life. Because I promise you, one of the things I used to say when we were in direct sales, when we would have leaders come in, is I'd say, listen, if you're going to be a leader in my organization, we're going to be all up in your business, because it's not okay for you to make money here and have the rest of your life fall apart. That's not okay. So it's the community that it's going to be such a rich community that you'll want to stay involved. That's what I believe.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Well,
right.
thank you. Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, so to piggyback what they were sharing, the community of we partners, right? It ties down to what we're doing already, and imagine globally, right? And then I've always, when we created this organization, we always wanted to make sure agents were not doing the rat race of just transactional. They wanted to get into the investment side. I don't endorse any like other investments, but agents can talk to amongst each other. You guys are raising money together already. This was another easier access because of what you guys are doing, and I just felt like this was a great pairing, and it's going to grow because you guys have investors. You guys want, and it's really for our team members here, where they have the education, constant education, right? Because the more you can start investing your money to grow itself, you're going to get to that I category where we look at that cash flow quadrant, and really focusing on that. And I felt like this was a great vehicle to do that. And so you guys can ask more questions. Yes, Maritza.
So what happened if I have other partners, investors, say, I present that and say, hey, Maritza, we want to invest, but I want you the head.
You want us what?
Like they want to invest, but they don't want to be involved as a members. They just want to me be involved, and they put the money all together in there, and we put the money all together in there. If that works, or
So there's, we don't have a way of handling or managing that, right? The way that we've structured this is that the crowdfunding component is a benefit. It's a feature for the club members. So they must be an active club member. One part of that also is for us being able to know our customer. KYC is a big deal, especially around with investments. The other part of that is we also want to make sure that people are informed. They're making informed decisions, right? If we went on social media with ads for Liberty Crowdfund, we could do that legally, but we would be getting a lot of riffraff. We get a lot of bad decisions and people, just not being informed. So we don't want to market it publicly, even though we can. So my answer is they need to be a club member. I don't recommend someone investing through you and for you to have your name.
That's a liability.
It's
a big liability.
Big liability tax-wise, and it could get in the area of securities.
it's just a have investor example. If we do flipping, they put the money, example, with me, and we all 4-3-5 came together. We put the money on me. We start looking the property, and they don't want to know nothing about this. They just want to work, and then we find the property and we flip it, and there you go.
I mean, you're
So
doing
invest
small joint
one of it.
ventures.
Yeah.
I mean, that's completely fine. This is something that's set up completely different.
Okay.
This model is really designed as a growth fund model to be more passive than the active joint venture.
And what if I have 5-10 investors and I just browse? Is just any referral for us, or is nothing created as that?
So there is a referral program if they join
As they enjoy the example, I have like 5-10 investors, and they want to enjoy us, like you say, be a member. So we all 11 be a members. So is any referral for me bringing these people to you guys?
Okay, so as club members, right, that's going to generate referral fees. Anything they invest into the fund cannot be commissionable. That would be illegal.
Oh, no, no,
Yeah,
no, no.
you
I'm
have to be-
talking
you have
about.
to
Only
be
the
licensed.
membership.
Yeah,
Only
the
the
Only on
membership.
the membership, absolutely. And there's definitely a more in-depth program as far as to explain on how that works. But we did design it to where it was very lucrative, to where it would help people get out of debt and be able to invest more.
So when I look at the club membership, I look at my CCIM designations. I pay $1,000 every year. So that's already. So that's why I'm in CCIM, because we have the network,
Mhm.
right? So you look at this as another network of a community, because you guys are asking great questions, but there's also other questions that other people would be asking that you get to learn. So as this community continues to grow, just like We Partners, when we started with 3 people, now we're at 300. Imagine 1,000. Same thing with this community; it'll be 1,000 or more or whatever. And you have a lot of more. You have more talent from a community. You can do other stuff because you're meeting more people. It's not just what they are doing. It's not just what We Partners is doing, right? We have other side businesses that are going on with the company. So I just wanted to bring them so you guys know that what I'm doing together with Richard and Mary. So you guys have the opportunity, because I'm already talking to people in California. And what's nice is overseas, like the people that I met in Europe, they want to invest in the US. Well, guess what? They become a member. They get the education about the US projects. $500, $1,000 is, I mean, you can invest that way where we couldn't before, right? So for me, I don't look at, oh, you have to invest $100,000 or $250,000. One is you're not accredited, right? And at the same time is you don't have to invest, but you can see what people are doing and watch from the sidelines if you want. But our goal as a community is not watching from the sidelines. Be educated, ask questions, listen to other people that are asking the good questions, and then you make your own business decision, right? So that's how I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm gonna have Paul end us up and kind of share his excitement from coming from Boston.
Good job. Thanks. Yeah, thank y'all so much. From Boston. I can tell. Do y'all know how I can tell they're part of a community? Anybody want to guess? Like, I can tell they're not just part of a community, but like a good community. Like, they did. That's definitely for sure. I like that. Anybody else?
When you say community, do you mean they're from Frisco?
No. I was just trying to get people to ask questions. No.
Others minded.
Huh?
I think they're others minded.
Well, yeah. Number one is the grandparents. They don't look like grandparents, do they?
No.
Yeah. So they're very active. They're very young looking, right? When y'all said grandparents, holy crap. Well, definitely her. But you're up there too, man. But they're in shape. They're active. They're doing stuff. The grandparents, I dig that, man. When you get around a community, you can do things you never thought possible. I mean, it takes you to a whole new level when you start just hanging around the right people. Like, I'm 55. I'm always telling Scribner, I got to keep hanging out with you because you're younger than me. You're bringing my average age down, right? I was talking. Yeah. No, I sold my company when I was 52. You're thinking of my Instagram post that you see constantly that I pay ads for and get in your. I'm in your business all the time, and it starts off with at 52. No. But I was just talking to Aaron about this too. It's just when you hang around a community, you can be physically fit, mentally fit, spiritually fit, and the financially fit happens. The financially is the easiest part. They just about said that. I don't know if y'all caught that, but they just about said what me, Scribner, and Aaron were talking about in the other room. The financial fit's the easiest part. It's the mental capacity, the spiritual, and all that. So the reason I'm leading with that is because I got to meet Rob Flick. I got to meet some really cool people in Boston. I got to speak at the Dallas deal. I haven't seen y'all since I spoke, which was amazing. But just being around and understanding people. Like, they say clues leave success. That always bothered me when people said that. I was like, that's stupid. I know what you're talking about. Clues leaves. Sorry, success leaves clues. Thank you. God bless you. That's why Tina's with me all the time. And Tina asks the best questions. I don't know if y'all notice that. Like, I get fired up when Tina's in the room when I got a question, because I know I don't got to ask the question, because I know she's going to ask the question. It's going to be great. It's going to be way better than the question I was going to ask. What was it? Success leaves clues. And I never really understood that. I mean, what do you mean clues? I mean, don't get weird with me. Just tell me, right? Well, what it means is successful people, they tell their story, and you know their story. I had no idea that, like, I know Rob Flick is successful here. I had no idea at the age of 30, he almost died from cancer. There's a reason why the man's successful. He's making $100,000 a week. To make that kind of money, you had to have a chip on your shoulder. You had to have something going on in your life like, hey, you know, that's why I love Scribner. I love hanging around him. He's told me his story. I know his story. I want to fight harder for him. I want to work harder for him, right? I know Kevin's story now. I asked him what his why is and why he's doing it. See, here's the deal. Everybody in here has a story, and it can be the thing that propels you to greatness. Y'all know mine. Most of you do. Recovered alcoholic, barely graduated high school, raised by my mother. Dad left us. I've been raised by women. I was raised by 3 women, and then I got 3 women in my house. They're everywhere. I'm really good at it, though. But y'all know my story, okay? And when you know someone's story, you will work harder and fight harder for them. Like I learned Rob Flick's story. And I'm like, man, I understand why so many people followed you. I understand why so many people went to bat for you. I understand how you grew to 72 million people, or how many people he's got. How many people has he got? It's not that much, but 18 million. 18,000. Who in here would like to have 18,000 people on their team? I can assure you that you got something in your story that you're not sharing with people. There's something that's happened in your life and you're looking at it and saying, We had this one young lady, she was sitting in the back and she told me, she goes, I don't really have anything. And I got to talking to her and getting to know her more and more and more. She survived cancer twice. I'm like, yo, what's up with that? That's massive. Like when people know that, they'll work harder for you. See, everything you're trying to hide from people is the thing that people will be like, I want to go bat for you. Okay. So that was one thing I learned when I was in Boston and Dallas this week, is just hearing everybody's story from stage. You heard great stories. I can't remember the young lady from North Carolina that spoke before, like 2 before me. No, not Tina. She talked the day before me. She's real sweet lady. Yeah. What was her story? She had a crazy story, and I'm like, that's it.
Or was it her father? She's caring for her mother or father, and as she's a new mom.
Yeah. You're getting close. We're getting close. But understand, y'all are all saying stuff about people's personal stories. And that's why they're the size they are right now. That's why they're big like they are. Because people are fighting for them because they know who they are. Like if I go around the room and start getting y'all to open up and tell your stories, you're going to have a lot more friends. You're going to have a lot more people going, I want to help this person. Like I understand why people have gone to bat for you, right? Because you personalize it. You ain't got to be perfect. You know, the one that acts the most perfect and polished when they're up there speaking, run away from them. They're crazy. We're all jacked up. Let's be straight with that. Okay. Hey, Zeus, you're jacked up. I know you're a good looking man, but I'm telling you, you're jacked up. We all jacked up. Quit acting like you ain't. Okay. But there's some, be careful for the ones that won't admit it. You know, they're the ones that bring a gun up in here and we got to run like hell. Shouldn't have said that. Anyhow, so what I learned is just knowing what is your story. You got to tell people. Okay. The successful people all do. That's the clue they leave. Now, don't go overboard with it. Okay. Don't go to the extreme. All right. But just stay right there. Hey, this is what drives me. There's something that drives every one of you. Sam, we don't need Samuel. Is it Samuel or Sam? I forget. Samuel's good. Samuel, I don't know you that well just yet, but there's something inside of you that's driving you to be here because you're young. How old are you? 23 years old. Dear Lord, someone give him a hug. God bless you. I wish I was as smart as you at 23. I can't tell you what I was doing at 23. Like, no crap. I can't tell you because I don't remember. So at 23, you're in here trying to learn and improve yourself. There's something driving him, y'all. There's something inside of him where he's saying, I want something different in life. Okay. Otherwise, he'd have signed up for a job. That's a lot easier than going out on this crusade of whatever the heck we do around here. Real estate agents. She stole my line. Did y'all catch that? Can't even spell real estate. Did y'all hear her say that? I was about, you got to get out of here. Quit stealing my stuff. But Daniel, first I want to say that, or I want to say this, not first, because I've already said a bunch of stuff. I love you. Thank you for introducing me to all these great people. Thank you for having me speak in Dallas. Thank you for being my support as I was about to go on stage. Tina said a prayer for me. Thank God. But I just love everything that we're doing here. And what Brandon and I are trying to create, and if anybody wants to be a part of it and we think we got Aaron in there. Yeah, we did. We got him in here, and just on the fly, just like that. Aaron said he wanted in. We spoke to each other somehow up here. We're creating an environment of people that want to be physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially fit. Okay, that's what we're going to create, and we're gonna dive deep into life. I don't want to get too deep with you right now, but we're going to read great books. We're going to read. Anybody in here read Man's Search for Meaning? I figured. Man's Search for Meaning. This book. Yeah, she even knows the author. I knew both of y'all did. That will change your life. If you want to feel sorry for yourself, read that book. Man's Search for Meaning. If you're ever down on yourself and you think life's treating you a little tough, read that book and be like, I'm all right. We're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? It's not near as bad as that. Okay. But at the same time, you understand the meaning of what you're trying to do. Okay. But we're going to bring it down to that level because and this is what Daniel wanted me to talk about. The revenue share program here, guys, it's for real. I knew it was for real before I went to Boston, before I spoke in Dallas. I knew it was for real because I did it and I sold it for a lot of money, but it's for real because we have the opportunity here just to invite people in. That's simple. And we have a whole team of people to train. Tina trains me. I'm not on Tina's team. Tina makes no money off me whatsoever. Now I'm going to change that. I'm going to make sure we do some co-sponsorship together. I will change that. However, right now she don't care. How can I help you, Paul? Our last deal, she helped us close. I don't know what voodoo stuff she put over it, but she figured it out and she got it closed and done for us because it was a jacked up mess. Really. Like they were saying things, they were all talking. I was like, man, I'm brand new to real estate. I don't know if y'all know that. And I'm like, y'all are speaking a foreign language to me. I don't understand what y'all talking about. But Tina jumps in and helps us. I promise you, Teresa will jump in and help you. Okay. Promise you, Toby will jump in and help you. We got enough people in here. All you got to do is invite people. Okay. Now, I love what she said. We'll repel the bad ones. Don't worry about it. I don't know if they're good or bad. Don't worry about that. Our attitude of just loving people, taking care of people, wanting to build people up, wanting people to grow, we'll repel the bad ones. Don't worry about it. They'll go away. So just invite people. So on Wednesdays, I'm shameless plug. Sorry. Wednesday is going to be our leadership meeting where we're going to talk deep about how we can build this rev share crazy. On Tuesday, starting September 1st, Teresa and Shelly and
The second and the fourth Tuesday.
the second and fourth Tuesday. We'll have a calendar starting September. Thank you. Starting September, they're gonna do transaction type training on Tuesdays, and Wednesdays we'll be in here talking about rev share. We're gonna dive deep. We're gonna talk deep. We're gonna figure out who we are, because once you figure out who you are, you can build anything possible. Okay. And just seeing who in here went to the Dallas build. Please, for the love of God, tell me. And you're not de-edifying anybody because we're not going to say their name. Okay. But please, for the love of God, when you saw them up there speaking and you found out they had 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 people on their team, please, for the love of God, tell me that you were saying this. You ready? If he can do it. Okay. You were? Yeah. If she can do it, come on, tell me. Be honest. I can too. Really? Who in here was saying that to themselves? Like, how did they get there? Right? Like, y'all doing that? Come on, don't lie. I need some egos. Come on, pop it up.
Well, I didn't know the story, so I wasn't thinking that was
When-
they may have something in their background that helped them influence that many people.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily think that.
Yeah.
Like the way I want to approach recruiting, I'm planning on doing that as a foreigner in a foreign country.
Yeah.
And not many people are going to do that. So people could look at me and be like, "How are you going to recruit Koreans?" I don't know. We'll find out. I plan to recruit
when he gets successful and he stands up on stage and says he's got 2,000 Korean people on his team, we're like, holy crap, if he can do it. I mean, look at him. He looks like me. You know what I'm saying?
I don't act like me when I'm there.
But y'all understand? But please tell me that someone gave you some hope this week. I promise. Like, someone gave y'all hope last week, right? Like, oh my gosh, it's doable for me, right? I love Brent Gove. Y'all know I got a little man crush on him. He's cool. You know what I'm saying? I told him I had a man crush on him and I'm still here. I didn't get fired. I was a little worried about that. Oh yeah. We'll talk about that in a second. But when he was up there training, come on, he's making it look fun, right? It's like, oh, I can do that, right? Was he perfect and polished up there when he was training? No, but everybody was leaned in like, I got to hear what he's got to say, right? Right? The dude did 14 deals in 30 days. Like, I got to hear. And he's like crazy about it, like going all over the place talking. And anybody would say he's got some ADHD up in there? right? Just a little. So it gives you hope. You're like, okay, I got that too. Yeah.
Everyone's like, this has been a long day. Can you wrap this up?
Yeah.
And he's not in your face, but sort of, but I think for me in a good way.
Yeah.
But it keeps you engaged.
And he also told his personal stuff.
Yeah.
He talked about his wife and him having challenges. Everybody's trying to hide that crap, especially you real estate people driving your Mercedes, taking pictures of your Mercedes, and then life is good. Life is good. No, stop it. You just as jacked up as everybody. He showed us his notes. Yeah. His personal notes he showed us. Yes. He did the same thing in Boston. In fact, he went on so long in Boston, he realized and goes, I'm going to have to finish this talk Monday night. Y'all want to jump on a Zoom call? That's how crazy he was in Boston. He was off the chains in Boston. He was walking and he almost died 3 or 4 times in Boston. Like I was like, dude, stay on the stage, please. He kept tripping. And one time he went off the stage, tripped. I was like, we're going to watch literally $1 million man die in front of us. Please stay on the stage. He's okay. He's good. But listen to me. Y'all feel like you can do what he's doing, right?
You be you.
Yeah, you be. Yeah, and it's just not that difficult once you just say, okay, I can tell my story. Well, I don't want people to know I got marital problems. You're married, like they said it. You got marital problems if you married. I'm sorry. Am I right? Yeah, because you're different. You know, thank God. If you're the same as your partner, that's just weird. You married your sister or something, man. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Marry someone different. Tamara's different than me. Thank God. She's loud and obnoxious. My wife could be in here right now. Y'all wouldn't know. Did y'all meet her? Did you meet her? Okay, cool. So I want everybody to understand that, Shelly, it's not all on you to train everybody you bring in here. The moment you realize it's not is the moment you'll get crazy. You can't do that. They're not personally responsible to you. So why are you being personal? You see what I'm saying? Bring them in, let them see where they fit. And I'll tell you this, if you're building a team, understand that the majority of the time, the people you bring onto your team, they don't really, I don't want to say they don't like you, but they're looking for someone else for answers. They're always kind of going around you to, like, if you give them the answer, like, yeah, well, you're making money off me, so I'm going to ask her. Do y'all know they do that? Okay. So don't try to be the holy one of all here, sit down before my feet. And let me tell you how great I am. Just let them go find a way. Daniel's beautiful at it. He don't care who learns from who. Just go find a way, be successful, please. If you want to learn from me, great. Right. But at the same time, I got enough help. I got Maritza that can teach my people. Maritza, I can't speak Spanish. Can you?
I do.
You do? Okay, good. So she can help me with the Spanish aspect, right? See?
See.
I don't speak Spanish. I just told you that.
I can teach you. I can teach you.
Don't teach. See, I don't want to know. I'm 55. But y'all with me? Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. So thank you. Yeah. Bring people into the community and just let them find a way. You'll be shocked. And please don't. Well, I don't think that's the one. You don't know who they are until they go through their first adversity. Okay. When they go through their first adversity, that's when you learn who they are, not before then. Okay. The moment they go through that first adversity, if they start freaking out and act like the world's coming to an end, there's your sign. Okay. Here's a great sign you can tell. You ready? If they failed their test for real estate and they act like it's the end of the world, they probably should stop there. You with me? Because they're going to have a tough time with rejection. They're going to have a tough time with someone has anybody been rude to you in the 15 years you've done this? A lot of people. Can you imagine someone being rude to Tina? Like, I want to slap them, right? Like, who could be rude to her? But people have been rude to her, Kevin, right? But if she acts like the world's coming to an end because she didn't pass her test, that's not good, right? So just pay attention. But don't even worry about all that. Just bring them around the community. Let the community change them. And I got to see such incredible stories in Dallas and in Boston of great people who went through adversity, overcame. And that's why when you see someone successful get on stage and they start crying and they start getting teary-eyed, because they themselves didn't think it was possible. And they're just like overwhelmed with this, like, holy cow, I did it. And that's why they get emotional in a heartbeat. You'll watch a successful person. You watch Brent Gove, he'll get emotional just like that because he's up there going, I'm just a, what was he, history teacher or football coach or something? I'm just a history teacher, you know? And here I am with 90 million people on my team. How many is it? 18 million. So 18 million people on my team. Y'all with me? It's like, holy cow, I'm here doing this. What I wanted to share with y'all is just help bring some people in. Let the system figure it all out. We got a great group of people. Everyone wants to help. Everyone wants to lead. Kevin's not on my team, but you acted like I was the way you treated me in Boston. He was making sure me and my wife got pictures. I used to live in Boston. We were taking pictures. Daniel's driving us around. We're getting out. Have anybody been to Boston ever? Like in Newberry Street and all that? Like you just don't park. I mean, it's like crazy. So we're just jumping out. Papa Daniel's driving around, you know, and then he's going, go take your pictures. And he goes around the block, picks us back up. We jump back in the van. Thank you, Dad. And, you know, that's what it was like, you know. And then he took us to the Boston Tea Party, and we took pictures over there, me and my wife. And then we got back in the van, and then you know, he's just all day just giving. But Kevin was right there too, making sure that we had our pictures taken care of us. Kevin, whose team are you on? Teresa? I didn't even know. See, and here he is helping me. We don't make there's no money exchange, but he's just so loving and caring and taking care of us and making sure everybody's got everything. That's what this group's about. And just being in Boston and seeing who we are, seeing who everybody in Boston is. We got something big here. So just keep inviting people, and you're one person away from having a major breakthrough. I can tell you that. One person can bring you 500. It's happened to me in insurance. When I built my pyramid or insurance company over there. If y'all want to get in a fight about pyramids, I will, because I'm like a multimillionaire because of pyramid. Okay. But if you just bring someone and they can change your life forever, right? And guess what? At the same time, you get to help people change their lives, right? All right, we good? Thank you, Daniel.